Imagine walking into a place where beauty and mortality collide so vividly that you cannot look away. A chapel where the ornamental carvings, chandeliers, and artwork are made not from marble or gold, but from human bones. Not replicas, not facsimiles, actual skeletal remains, arranged with astonishing detail and surreal artistry. This is Sedlec Ossuary, located beneath the Cemetery Church of All Saints in Kutna Hora, Czech Republic, often called the Bone Church. It is one of the most unusual sacred sites in the world, a place where death and devotion meet in a way that is eerie, artistic, reverent, and unforgettable. To understand Sedlec Ossuary's story, you first must understand its origin, born out of history, faith, and the sudden weight of mortality on a European scale. So, in 1278, the abbot of the Sedlec monastery traveled all the way to the Holy Land, and, well, brought back a small handful of soil from Golgotha, which is, the site traditionally believed to be where Jesus was crucified. He sprinkled that soil over the abbey's cemetery. And just like that, it became a highly desirable burial ground for Christians from both near and far. Having one's body buried in consecrated soil that had touched the ground of Christ's crucifixion was honestly considered a sacred privilege. Before long, people from all across Europe flocked to Sedlec to be interred there. Then came the Black Death in the mid-1300s. The plague, as we know, claimed millions of lives across the continent. Europe's population dropped precipitously, and, well, the volume of deaths was just staggering. Cemeteries everywhere struggled to cope. Sedlec was definitely no exception. And as if the Black Death weren't already enough, the Hussite Wars in the early 15th century added even more deceased, casualties of conflict, upheaval, and famine. The result, unsurprisingly, was an overflowing cemetery. There were simply too many bodies and too little space. By the late 1400s, graves piled upon graves, and mass interments became, well, absolutely necessary. So bones were exhumed and stacked in ossuaries, which are stone vaults designed the house skeletal remains, under the church. One of the earliest records of this massive collection of bones actually comes from the 16th century. But it wasn't until later, in the 1870s, that the ossuary would, well, take on its most iconic and artistic form. Enter František Rint, a Czech woodcarver who was employed by the Schwarzenberg family, the aristocratic patrons of the church. Rint was given a singular, extraordinary task: take the tens of thousands of exhumed skeletons stored below the church and craft them into an artistic arrangement. What he produced is both macabre and mesmerizing, a world-class bone interior unlike anything else on Earth. Rint transformed what was once a grim repository of remains into a space that confronts the viewer with mortality, faith, and the interconnectedness of life and death. The first thing visitors notice is the sheer number of bones, the remains of an estimated 40,000 to 70,000 people. These are not anonymous skeletons hidden in the dark. They are displayed in plain sight, arranged with precision and attention to form. Throughout Europe, ossuaries served both practical and sacred functions. They were, repositories for remains when grave space ran out. But they were not always arranged as intentionally or artistically as Sedlec. In Sedlec, the ossuary became both shrine and museum, a testament to death and a testament to human creativity, even in the face of mortality. Tourism to Sedlec Ossuary has grown steadily over the decades. Thousands of visitors come each year, traveling down from Prague or stopping during tours of the Czech Republic's historic sites. Many find it beautiful, others find it disturbing, and some find it transformative. Psychologists suggest that, experiences like visiting the ossuary touch on deep primal emotions. Death is one of the few certainties of life. Yet in modern cultures, especially in the West, death is often hidden away, sanitized in hospitals, cemeteries, or, honestly, just forgotten altogether. Sedlec Ossuary confronts visitors with the physical reality of death in a way few places do. The bones are displayed, not concealed. The arrangement is intentional, not accidental. The effect is powerful and, well, truly unforgettable. People ask, does it feel haunted? Most say no, at least not in the ghostly sense that many expect from horror movies. Instead, it feels haunted in a human sense, haunted by remembrance, by the weight of generations, by the palpable sense of lives once lived. Children were buried here, priests, merchants, nobles, and peasants alike. In Upon death, social distinctions disappeared, and in Rint's arrangement, every bone is equal, every skull aligned with every other in silent testimony. The popularity of Sedlec Ossuary has also raised questions about respect, exploitation, and ethics. Is it appropriate to display human remains so prominently? Should they be seen as art, as historical artifact, or as sacred relics deserving of privacy? Opinions vary. Some scholars argued that because the bones were already exhumed and intended to remain in sacred ground, the artistic arrangement is a continuation of centuries-old tradition. Others feel uncomfortable with the display, suggesting that human remains should not be used for decoration. These debates about art, sanctity, and the body are themselves part of the ossuary's legacy. From a historical perspective, Sedlec Ossuary bridges past and present. It connects us to medieval Europe's response to overwhelming mortality, a world where entire families could be wiped out by plague, where wars decimated populations, and where burial space was a precious commodity. It shows how people once lived with death in a more intimate, visible way. Instead of distancing themselves, they transformed remains into meaning, finding beauty and reverence even in bones. Walking through the bone church today, visitors often pause at the chandelier. Suspended above, made of every bone in the human body, the piece is both macabre and magnificent. It is a reminder that beneath our skin, we are all structurally the same. Our skeletons are the shared architecture of every human life. That realization, striking, unavoidable, profound, is part of what has made Sedlec Ossuary a place where millions stand still, reflect, and consider their own mortality. But even more than that, this chapel is a testament to creativity born of constraint. Rint's vision took what was overwhelming, tens of thousands of bones, and turned it into a space that encourages reverence instead of repulsion. In doing so, he asked the world to reconsider how we think about death, memory, and what it means to be human. So, when you think of Sedlec Ossuary, maybe just try to think beyond the initial shock. This is not merely a spectacle. It is a chapel of contemplation. A space where history and mortality, speak to us through form and structure. It's a reminder that life ends, that bones remain, and that meaning, even from death, can be shaped by intention and artistry. If this deep dive into Sedlec Ossuary sparked your curiosity about the boundaries between life, death, and art, go ahead and hit like so more people can explore these extraordinary places where history really confronts humanity. Subscribe for more immersive journeys into the world's most fascinating and enigmatic locations. And, share this with someone who appreciates stories that challenge your understanding of beauty, mortality, and the spaces that connect us all. Because in a world full of ordinary places, some sites remind us that the greatest mysteries are never buried. They are displayed in the light for all to see.